And it was like, we literally had clients say, okay, well, I won't order with you, you're a bit more expensive. And well, quality doesn't matter because people don't wear it anyway. Okay, hi everybody, welcome to Merch Sessions. I'm here together with Niels. Welcome.
Thank you.
So in Merch Sessions, we discuss everything merchandise related, community related, and we deconstruct the very best strategies and tactics to get the most out of your merchandise campaigns. And today, Niels is going to explain what are we going to talk about?
We are going to talk about our vision and in combination with our slogan, so changing the world of merchandise.
Yeah.
And what do we exactly mean with changing the world of merchandise? But before we start, only 10% of all our listeners is subscribed.
Yeah.
So if you belong to the other 90%, please subscribe. And I would say, let's go.
Yeah, so you get these notices when we can put a new episode online, you stay up to date, and you can join the community of other merchandise enthusiasts.
Exactly. So this one is, like we said last time, a little bit different again. That's because we are doing it in English from now on.
Yeah. So we got very good response on our last episode in English. We see that the hunger for knowledge regarding merchandise is globally, and we want to cater to the global audience. So we're going to continue in English. So hopefully that's okay for everybody listening. And if you have any questions, you can also ask them in Dutch. We can respond in Dutch or in English.
Definitely. So this episode, we are going to talk about changing the world of merchandise.
Yeah. So, well, it's a bold statement, but it's one we've been doing for the last 5 years. And I think it's interesting to talk a bit about it, how we see the world of merchandise when we started, what was maybe flawed in this world, and what direction we are going.
Exactly. So if we look at the start, so the thing that I saw is that people mostly use bad quality merchandise.
Yeah.
I think it is still all over the world. So not only in Belgium, Netherlands, but in all over the world, merchandise is bad quality.
Yeah.
Well, that's what people think.
And it's quite logical. If you look from, if you take a step back and you look at the complete industry, what happened the last 30 years is basically it became a commodity. It became a price market, basically, because every printing house, every promotional supplier works with the same brands, offers the same services with no differentiation. They put prints on it. And what you get is basically the only thing you can compete on is price. And then if you continue this for a couple of years, the price goes down, down, down. So there's no more room for value. There's no more room to take some extra care of clients, to do some free designs, to help them consult, to develop new solutions. What you basically get is a price market that just keeps going down. And after a couple of years, it even goes down in quality, basically, because the only way to keep going in a price market is by lowering your prices. And at one point, it starts influencing the quality. And, well, that was the biggest problem, and still one of the biggest problems in the industry.
Yeah, and people were not asking for good quality.
Yeah.
And the thing is that, like, employee branding, it's something that's only from the past 10 years, maybe max. So it's a new thing coming up as well, and that in combination with good quality. But if we look at changing the world of merchandise, there are different parts where we want to change the world of merchandise.
Yeah. So, well, if you cut it up in slices, basically, one of our main things is how merchandise is used. So changing that is a big one. If we can change how it's used, and well, when we started, it was used basically. A box arrived at the office and then it was stored somewhere in a closet and never used. So not being used was the general use case.
Yeah.
And well, if people have to spend or invest in something they won't use, you don't want to spend a lot of money.
True.
So this is the idea. Getting merchandise to be used and to deliver ROI was one of the biggest changes we are working on every single day. And it's just completely changing the mindset of every marketing manager, business owner, or HR manager.
Definitely. Yeah, so that's one part. And then the other part, I always compare it with some other companies. For example, Bank, what they do with banking. It's like changing the traditional banking.
Mm-hmm.
We are actually changing the traditional merchandise. But not only for the customers and the end users, but for the manufacturers as well. Because everything used to come from Asia. And we are not sure what the working environment is over there because it's quite far away.
Yeah.
But the difference is that we are doing it in Europe. So we really want to change the way products are produced. We've been to our factories, of course. Can you say something about that?
Yeah, so we already have a complete episode about that. So very interesting for the listeners. If you're interested in all production related items, you can watch or listen to the episode about it. But the main thing is, as I explained in the beginning, once you get in a price market, people keep looking for cheaper options to produce. And you can only keep going so far. So what happened is suppliers started to go to promotional production companies in China, some which have good working conditions, but not all of them. And there are several other countries which have even worse conditions. So you saw, well, we need to produce cheaper, so we need to find a cheaper supplier. What happens again, if you're in the price market, if their margins shrink, there's no room for improvement to get better, to deliver better products, to deliver better services. So that's why we drastically decided, okay, we'll go to a value market. We will start creating products and services that really help our clients. This way there's enough value to pay for it, basically. And this higher selling price we can use to split it between us and some suppliers, so everybody has room for improvement. And well, a lot of supplier or production companies are quite traditional, so we help them actually improve. We help them with processes, we help them with software, we help them with thinking how we can make production of high quality items more efficient, so there's less loss. We can do more with the items that are left, and so on, just by creating more value in the same environment.
Well, we all know that like the textile industry has a lot of leftovers, use a lot of water, for example, but we really want to change that as well.
Yeah, so, well, we're still at this planet for a very long time, so we should try to do every small improvement, maybe as small as possible, but just all these small improvements become bigger. So if we can save 10% on water, for example, we do that. Or if we can work smarter with our logistics, getting full trucks here instead of separate shipments, that can save on a lot of trucks in the long term. So it's just looking at all pieces of the puzzle, because as we talked about in the production episode, it's a puzzle with over 50 pieces, 60 different people working on it. And if we can build all these small improvements and bundling all these efforts that all these separate companies are doing, we can have a lot bigger impact.
True. So yeah, for example, we build our own forest.
Yeah, so that's a really cool one, because personally I love to go for walks in the forest. I love nature, and I love just the idea that we help build it. I think it's great. So basically we work with Trees for All. That's a Dutch organization who's certified in planting trees all over the world to reduce carbon emission. So we did a complete calculation of all our miles driven, all our deliveries, and we noticed that for around every 50 packages we ship, we plant a tree, and that neutralizes the carbon. So we made a commitment to them and to us. So every 50 packages, we plant a tree. And hopefully, now we have a forest of around 100 trees. But hopefully we one day have the real Merchandise Essentials forest where we can go for walks.
Yeah, it will be really cool.
Yeah. So that's Well, that's one of the small. That's what I call with small improvements. It's well, these 100 trees won't change the complete world, but it's just the idea that for every tree planted, these small increments really help. And we do it with the trees. We do it with working efficiently with the fabrics. We do it, for example, in our production, we try to work with all these companies that are very close to each other. So you don't have a fabric supplier in China and a sewing house in India and a printing house in the United States. We do it all very locally in Poland. So we reduce all these miles of traffic and oil tankers and stuff like that. Huh. So it's these ideas, yeah.
And it's exactly what you said. Like we are not the last one on the planet.
No.
Like we want to have children, or you have a kid, but we are not the last one. So we want to leave a nice, good planet, and if we can do something about that, actually lovely to do.
Yeah, I think it's the only way that still works, basically. If we continue like this, well, it will be pretty bad in 100 years. But if every company starts doing these small increments, and this goes from recycled packaging, for example, it seems pretty basic, but it's something we care about, and it's a little more expensive for us, but it's just better for these couple of cents. It's better for the planet, so why not try to do all these things and basically change the world of merchandise. We try to work with as many new types of fabrics possible. We have our R&D department, and we work with fibers made from seaweed, for example. Yeah. We work with fibers made from fish nets. We work with from
recycled plastic bottles,
everything. Yeah, and it's just the idea that fabric is not only cotton or polyester. There are so many options in doing these small improvements.
Yes.
And that's only the production side. It's the same towards, giving the same mentality to our clients. And that's a big one. That's one of the first parts. What is the ecological weight, basically, for ordering and producing 100 t-shirts that end up maybe in the garbage can?
Yeah.
So that's like complete waste. So by increasing the value towards our clients and getting people to use it, it's automatically a lot better for the environment.
Yeah, so make the quality higher, so people actually want to wear it.
Yeah.
And that means there's less waste.
Yeah, so it's actually used, because one of the biggest complaints we had in our we heard from potential clients in the beginning was basically when they ordered merchandise somewhere, nobody wanted to wear it.
Yeah.
And it was like, we literally had clients say, okay, well, I won't order with you. You're a bit more expensive. Quality doesn't matter because people don't wear it anyway. And I was like, okay, you choose, or you don't produce anything anymore. That's an option. I can get behind it, basically. If you don't believe it, just don't do it. Don't order crap.
Mm-hmm.
Or you try the good quality stuff and see that people actually wear it. But it's not like you can't order crap quality and then say, well, nobody wears it. That's pretty logical.
True. Interesting. But what you see is that more companies understand it now.
Mm-hmm.
There's new mindset coming.
Yeah.
And we want to overbring our mindset over to our customers or potential customers.
Yeah, that's very clear. Another thing that we are really changing is basically merchandise used to be like last in line, basically. You had all these marketing channels, you had all these investments from companies, all these strategies. And for some reason, merchandise just ended up at the end of the table with some leftover budget and not really a strategy or vision for it. We are completely changing it, because if you do it good in a good way, it really delivers ambassadors, word of mouth, ROI, people post it on social media. It really works. And that's something, we added like an agency or consulting layer to merchandise that just doesn't exist in the world. We sit together with our clients and we ask them, okay, what goals do you want to reach? And what ways are you doing it? You can do it online advertising or merchandise. You can do television, all these marketing channels. But we consult on the merchandise part. Okay, what products can we use? How can we get it to the clients? What message should we send them? And this way, merchandise gets like 5 levels higher on the marketing chain.
Yeah.
And that's, well, it seemed logical for us to do it because, well, if we have a client, we care for what they do and that they get the results they are looking for. But so many clients are surprised if they start working with us. Like, wow, you actually ask a question about what we want to do with it. And you actually give honest feedback. Well, it's not always fun to hear, but if we get like a really ugly design from a client, which happens, well, it's the duty of our merchandise experts to basically say to the client, and that's not always the best conversation, but say, well, we believe that this design won't get you the results you are looking for. And we suggest we make a rework, we do some upgrades, for example, but it's their duty to tell
them. Yeah,
it's like an art. If you like draw a house on some paper and you go to an architect, well, it's the duty of the architect to say, well, this house will collapse probably if you build it like this. And it's the same for us, but it's completely new to merchandise, so it's something people have to get used to. But you get really good feedback on that.
Yeah, and we now know what people want to wear. So if you don't want to like have that T-shirt that's laying underneath the rest of your clothes in your cupboard, then change it.
Yeah,
and then do different. And we are luckily experts in it.
Yeah, and like for every audience, you have to really think very well on what you are going to design for them. It's completely different to target moms with big families. If your brand has that audience, it's totally different. Then you have to heavy metal teens, for example. There's not just one way. It's so many different factors, and we help companies get the best results with that. And that's one of changing the world of merchandise, basically, that this is possible now. And they don't have to get the knowledge in-house. We do it for them.
True. So actually, if we sum it up, there are like 4 different ways. 1, internally for ourselves, what we do. So for example, planting trees.
Yeah.
2, our manufacturers. So how can we help our manufacturers improve and change the world of merchandise again? And our clients. So how can we help our clients with better merchandise so we get less waste and people really are going to wear it?
Yeah.
Do I miss one?
One more. There's one more, and that's maybe resonates with the world. We want to be a truly global merchandise company. So we want to have offices where we work together with clients all over the world. So we're not, most merchandise companies are very local players, city or even part of the city. We want to be a global organization with expertise from every country, because every style in every country is different, to get ideas from all over the world and help companies in other countries then also use these ideas. So it's like getting all these influences into the company so we can help our clients even better. And with global logistics, with global services, design, if we have a multinational client, that we know that we serve their Dutch clients perfectly, we serve their Swiss office perfectly, their Berlin office, and they can really feel comfortable and be certain that quality will be consistent, that working conditions are perfect, that it's ecological, that the brand book will be followed perfectly, that like the strategy will be followed. So it's like a new layer on all these small local companies, but build like a level of professionalism that hasn't been done before in our industry.
Sure.
So that's like the 4th one. I think it's a very interesting journey that keeps evolving. And I think there's still a lot of work to do.
There is, but we're working on it.
Yeah.
And it's actually going really good.
Yeah. Like for example, what we are doing here is completely new to the industry.
True.
There's not a single party in merchandise or clothing production who talk transparently on what they are doing. It's like the biggest curtain of all industries. And I don't know why, but just communicating this open is well, it's completely new to the industry. And I think it's part of our DNA to just be transparent. Yeah.
And if you want to see or listen more about transparency, our previous podcast was all about our transparency.
Yeah.
Go listen to that one, because that one was a really, really cool one as well.
Yeah, we got so many good feedback. I think in the future we'll do a part 2.
Definitely.
So if there are any questions about production, you can always ask them in the comments. There are so many things we still want to show you. And there's also changing the world of merchandise from hidden back rooms and dodgy showrooms to just, very open, very cool. People love it, basically. If you do good merchandise, everybody loves it. If you get a nice t-shirt, everybody loves it. They wear it. But for some reason, the industry just got poisoned in the last 30 years. And we see it as our duty to open it up again. And if we see all these people walking in the street wearing merchandise we designed, we know they got it for this or this reason. That's just so cool.
And it feels like a connection. Yeah. Like imagine us walking on the street and seeing each other wearing the same hoodie.
Yeah.
It creates a bond.
Yeah, it's just like the sign of a tribe, basically. Like we belong to the same tribe. We belong together. We have the same values or vision. And it's just a conversation opener. Yeah. And it just works. And all these companies are just, after their first projects, they see that it works. And it's like a total eye-opener, because it used to be, well, if you give crap, you shouldn't be surprised that it doesn't work, basically.
True.
And it's just, that's we really love our recurring clients, basically, because it helps them build their tribe, their community, their ambassadors.
It creates happiness as well.
Yeah. And it's just fun. It's cheap, basically. Mm-hmm. If you compare it to marketing channels, it's just so cheap, but you have to have really good vision behind it, and that's something we help with.
True. I think we are actually at the end now.
Yeah. So, there's always a giveaway. So we have a really cool new hoodie we designed ourselves. It's bright yellow, so it's not for everybody maybe, but it's really cool.
True, and we will add a picture in the corner now.
You can see it. And what could we ask?
Maybe what is changing the world for you? What does it mean for you?
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, so basically what is changing the world for you? And you can win the official Merchandise Essentials yellow hoodie, which is still not released yet. So it's a very cool product, and we love to read some of the comments and see how the world can be changed by you.
Thanks a lot, Niels.
Yeah.
It was a good one again.
Thank you. Yeah, and really looking forward for our next episode again. So everybody enjoy listening. Please subscribe so you can stay up to date with the content. And I hope you enjoyed it.